election, even the by-election. They lost a constituency which they should have won. See?
Which one? In and town?
Yeah.
No, but neighbor.
In and town. Oh, the bash them on in and town.
A PNP stronghold.
That
is traditionally a PNP stronghold.
Yeah.
I mean, a neighbor foresight.
So when we got that you have to say that's a buck up when we get it.
There are only two safe Labour Party seats in Clarendon. Safe. 2.
And how many seats are in Clarendon?
That is where Pernell
Charles and Michael.
Junior, yes.
Central.
Right.
Those two, you tick those off at the start. The others are battleground seats.
How many seats down there? 5?
6 of them.
6.
Dwight Sibley's, would you say it's advantage JLP?
I think that one tight.
I believe so.
I think Sibley's has done a significant amount of. He's well liked. I think Sibley's has come out as a good find. And I think he ran against Dali. Where Dali is not Dali?
Yeah.
Dali, Horace.
Yeah. Dali.
Yeah, and you see that one where Henriquez is?
Yes.
Is a trouble. There's a little.
I believe Henriquez won't go back, you know. I don't think Henriquez going back.
Warren,
Henriquez not going back.
You see the thing is with that seat, neighbor.
Or the next guy.
Henriquez did not pay the people in that division any mind. In that constituency, they pay them no mind. So they turn from him. So now another representative. It's hard.
Warren Newby.
No, I'm not confirmed yet.
It's not confirmed yet. It's either Corey Duncan or Warren Newby. Yeah. So it is hard for the next representative to come in and actually at this stage to meet the people and all of these.
Yes.
So it's really sticky. That one is really sticky.
Despite all of this, Anisha, a neighbor and connecting the Dash and Foresight, do you think it all come back down to get operational on the day itself?
Yes, and no, not only on the day, but the campaign, right?
And the message that we are sending?
Yes. It has to be a compelling message, right? It has to be a very...
and do you guys also think this upcoming budget has a lot to do with how the campaign will be formed and shaped?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the budget too, what you're going to be campaigning on. So the message going forward has to be one that is felt by the people. And also the kind of campaigning that will signal to your supporters that, you know, you are strong, you can win, will win. You know, it has to be a very convincing campaign. It has to be hype. It has to be nice.
At this point in the game, though, all the seats should have been settled, and the candidates, people in the constituency know the candidates. Very difficult to go in when you have an established candidate and gain much ground.
When this election, do you know? We don't know when it's the date.
I don't cut in either. Do you guys see a long campaign or a short campaign? Because that has a lot to do with
I think we have enough time, though, neighbor. Because when you look at the last election,
the campaign has started. Don't bound about it.
I don't think the campaign has started, you know.
Yeah, some soft campaign.
The big broad
campaign has not officially launched. It's not officially launched as it.
The government tomorrow is opening Parliament for the new legislative year. That the throne speech, I think, is going to be on tomorrow. The budget, the Minister of Finance, I think, is speaking on the 9th. You better call the election early thereafter.
Yes. Anytime after April.
But neighbor, what do you think about Damian Young?
You see this inflation challenge? We don't want, you see the advantage that the party has now, the momentum that it has built up, you capitalize on it. Don't stretch this out.
Because JLP, we have a tendency, to shut ourselves in our foot,
Scratch it.
Go.
I don't
Anything-
think that is
anything
the.
can happen, in any game can play.
I think that's a reality of
In
the
government,
PNP in more recent times.
Anything can
Yes.
in
So
I
government.
think JLP has been very strategic in the last few elections in terms of organization on the ground.
I'm saying, are we seeing a long campaign or you think it's a short campaign?
Right.
Meaning from nomination day to the election day.
Means for July, August. That
But
meeting.
those things are done based on the law, sir.
No, it has to be,
Once you have a
yeah, no, it has
once
to,
you have a
no,
no.
in terms of 21 days before and
Right.
stuff like that. But I'm
Right.
saying, do you think the campaign will be that
When you
long?
talk about
Last
it,
election, we think that it wasn't
policy
that.
whatever policy you come with out of the budget, those policies are going to need time for the bureaucrats to get them out on the ground.
Or is the government waiting on a lot of these roads to be fully finished?
It has to be something that is happening. No, I mean, if you announce something, what are you going to announce? Are raising the minimum wage when? April, May? People need time to plan. If you're going to announce policies toward water, how long a water project takes to come on stream? I think what is happening on the ground now is a Sparks program that
No,
is generating.
no,
a
my
lot
neighbor. They
Huh?
Sparks and Reach.
places. No, you have places that have been getting water. They're breaking ground for water, because just the other day in Port Royal, Mata Samuda and the Prime Minister break ground for water in Port Royal. I think one was done in Reading just the other day and somewhere else. So you have a lot of projects going on right around.
Yes,
So
yes.
they have been putting in the work.
Manchester has lost ground. Manchester. The Labour Party has 3 of the Manchester seats. The PNP only has 1, and there is a little bit of concern over in Manchester.
Yes,
There is some concern in Manchester. There's work to be done in Manchester.
yes, Manchester,
It's by
Clarendon, Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, and over. There's the trouble there.
work to be done over in Manchester. Bunting over there in South. I see the Prime Minister visited Aldershaw. You cannot afford to lose Aldershaw's seat.
Yes.
You cannot afford to lose that. You cannot afford to lose Central Manchester.
That's why it was our strongest seat in
Right
Manchester.
candidate is the key for Aldershaw's seat.
In Manchester.
Yes,
Finding the right candidate. It has
exactly,
to be
foresight.
a good fit. The candidate selection is going to be key because
Yes.
those people are not just going to look past. For them, they have a relationship with Aldershot that they have enjoyed over the years. They want a candidate
But
like
when
that.
you see
It's not going to be just about voting for the JLP for them.
Yes.
You look at the party losing the Christian division, you know that
Something is not right.
Something not right.
But let me tell you
Yeah.
something though, neighbor. A lot will depend on how we campaign and the
Yes.
upcoming budget.
Yes.
If the upcoming budget, it's good that we are looking good now because we have other cards to play, and if we play them right, we can only look better,
Yes.
right? So I'm not worried about where we are. Even with
Yes.
even when you look at seats like Aldershaw seat and even Nesta Morgan, what I'm more interested in is to see what we're going to be doing, the action forward. That's what I can't wait to see. How we
So
going to
what is going to carry some of these weaker MPs is the national consensus, the national
exactly
vision,
the national mood.
campaign.
That's what carry a lot of them in 2020.
Yes, but I want to caution them that magic is a little bit weaker this time around.
Yes, so very much so. Very much so. I agree with that.
Opposition is much stronger going into the election than they were in 2019.
20.
Yeah, but hello, neighbor. They have been campaigning, but what have they been campaigning on? There
but
is no way.
you see,
All right, take for instance the
Margaret
campaign that
Thatcher,
they did
Margaret Thatcher, one of the philosophy of Margaret Thatcher, you see, is you never expose to your opponent your plans, but you never underestimate them. You
Exactly.
never-
Because not everybody buy a good plan.
that you underestimate the PNP to your detriment. They are wily and they are subtle and they
Yes.
can pull a straw out of a hat. You remember
Very
in the
much
last
so.
election when they came out and about free light bill and free water bill and all of those things. It's a campaign, and you have to be careful of missteps. There can be missteps. People can go up on the platform and chat rubbish and say things, and then you hear all type of furore in the society, and it can detract from a lot of things. This is why I'm arguing right now that the party seem to be gaining the momentum.
If you build on
Go,
it.
go for the election. If you have the secretariat has if they have the money, and guess what, they have been in government, because you're going to need a lot of money to fight the election. It has to be won in the air. It has to be won on the ground.
One thing is sure, though,
I have a lot to
we
do
are
how
going
that
to
money
have
is
to
spent.
ensure that we do enough on the day to pull out all our voters.
And
Because
on the
the
day
PNP
is the
base
most
is very energized.
yes,
Yes,
foresight.
And the PNP, one thing with grassroots, right? Rain, sun, they are coming out.
Yes.
Right?
And we need to get our voters out early.
This is that you call passion. I
Yes.
don't get the feeling that the Labour Party is passionate, that they want to win. That
Exactly. We don't get that yet. And that is why.
Yes, that's all JLP supporters are. They are not.
No, it depends on how as I said, the campaign and how we campaign.
You remember in 2016? You remember in 2016, sir? When no, it's not 2016. When Bruce Golding.
2007.
2007.
Remember that election?
All right, we were very passionate.
They never win.
Yeah,
They
man.
just,
Yeah, but then
they just had to win.
yeah, but
to
remember,
win.
saying we started campaigning from early. I think from about 2 years before.
Yes.
That's the advantage. That no position. When you're in a position, that's an opposition advantage.
Yeah, but at least we were campaign. We bring forward something, right? Them a campaign for almost years now, and they have nothing to bring
I
to
think
the
the
table.
passion. I think the passion needs to come back, where the Labourites need to feel that a
Again,
third term dream is a
I think you
dream.
yourself said it. I think you yourself said it, neighbor. You said 6% of the Jamaica out of 10 of the Labour Party out of 10 vote towards the leader. I think I think majority of the Jamaican
Let
Labour
us
Party
not-
are waiting on the leader.
Let us make no mistakes about
I
it.
think they're waiting on the leader to get that passion again.
We are talking
Well,
about Jamaica, and Jamaicans love hype and
Yeah.
excitement.
excitement.
Right?
I
The
believe that
PNP
they're
has
waiting on the
peaked, though, I
leader.
think, in the hype.
I think once the leader touch the road foresight, that hype will come and that passion will come.
Yeah, because persons have been saying when the campaign going to start, so they are waiting on the campaign.
Yes, you're not going to see that.
Do you notice
by
in
just
terms
the
of the PR? Do you notice in terms of the PR though? Can you remember the Clark's thing and all? Do you notice
Exactly.
that the PNP has orchestrated their own hype?
Every PNP in the clerks now.
Eh? Yes,
All them in the orange clerks
no,
now.
but hold on. PNP don't really have no hype like that, you know. It's because we not start yet. I tell you, PNP no hype because me think the PNP peak because the PNP would have done all of that, and now the momentum is still with JLP, and we haven't started the campaign yet.
And what we have to
Yeah, and they have
understand
lost the ground.
First of all,
foresight, they are
when you look
campaigning 2 years now. 2 years now, them are campaigning.
Exactly. And when you look at the PNP conference, our persons were talking about it when they did the conference. And without an artist, our campaign got more rounds and more made more rounds on social media.
Let me tell you
Right.
something. Before the local government election last year, the Prime Minister sent the General Secretary into the field to test the pulse of the nation. And when the report that came into the party never looked good. I can tell you that. It never looked good.
Oh, the JLP?
Yes. Before,
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with you, neighbor. I agree with that.
Before the local government election, Horace Chang visited some key constituencies, including
Right.
Clarendon, to test what was happening. Labour Party spirits were down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Labour
but
Party,
hello,
Labour Party.
neighbor. Remember, you know, at that time there wasn't
Let
any
him finish,
major
Anisha.
projects going on in their
Hear me tell you this.
parish. So them
Despite this,
feel a little
there was
downhearted
a
and all of them
disconnect.
something there.
There was
So
a
them they get
disconnect.
discouraged.
Hold on, Anisha. Make him
There
finish.
was a disconnect on the ground. And if the party had to delay calling the local government election, it's the law. It's the law. It's because of the bill that they passed in Parliament. They couldn't cancel it again.
Yes.
And then they had to go. They actually boxed themselves in a corner. And you notice that the Prime Minister had to stay on the road until 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
In campaigns until him losing voice.
The Prime Minister was in Gale, St. Mary for until 3 o'clock in the morning.
You, I
We still lose
was
Gale division.
in Old Harbour when Warmington had to I can't talk too much things here. When the reports coming in from the field was that the Labour Party is in trouble. The polls were showing it, and look what happened in the parish council election. The PNP actually celebrated a win. It's
Yes.
7-6 in terms of parish council, 7-6.
One of the
Alright?
things with politics,
And the PNP won the popular vote.
yeah.
Won the popular vote in the last local government elections. Okay? So recognize where the political thing is coming from. It is coming from a place where Labour Party support was flat out. Right?
You're right, man.
Himself. Let me tell you this, guys. At the conference before this one, when Holness came to the arena and saw how Labour Party had rallied, he was actually moved to tears. Not this conference last, the one before that, because the ground was not mobilized. The Labour Party people were not motivated.
Exactly.
Complacent, right? And I'm suggesting now that you see something has happened that has jerked up the party. Something has happened. Maybe it is just more resources that is.
What about candidate choice? I think that we had some poor candidate choice for the local election.
And some of the candidates just got complacent. A lot of them were.
I also think so as well.
Feeding off the leader. The leader is popular. We gone clear.
And
so,
for the leader alone to carry 200 odd division, that's a big strain on him.
I see some of those divisions that some of these members of parliament lose. I would have cracked the whip long time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you're right. It was a big thing. And yeah, JLP was complacent for true. And we can't afford that complacency again.
We can't win 49 seats and perform so well in government and talk about losing.
That's why, neighbor, I am concerned. I know that despite all the work that the government is doing, that alone will not bring us across the line.
One of the things we must understand with Jamaican politics, it cannot be too boring.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So,
and the last time we were boring Foresight.
Yeah, even though you're a performing government, right, you cannot be too disconnected from your base.
Yeah, we were too.
You have to keep your base mobilized, you have to keep them excited. If you notice,
we were too intelligent.
All of this surge that you're seeing now came after the conference. And and that was like a few days after losing 2 by-elections, that you could pull out so many people. So you can just imagine.
If we had won by-election.
I thought you should have had the conference then going to the by-elections with a hype. Right? That's what I think they should do. But anyway, if you can pull out so many persons, right? And some people will have turned up to the conference even after losing 2. Just that they are waiting, they are just waiting for the party to just move them into action.
Rally.
Yeah, to be excited again. You know, the party has not been saying much. They have been taking a lot, not been saying much. And supporters don't like that. Supporters don't like to see your party just get beaten, and nobody's coming out to say anything. Look at what happened in recent times when Marlon Morgan come out and make a statement. You see how people rally around the party. You see how people, that's how supporters are. Supporters
Trust me,
are
no.
like Warmington
Although
because
if I was
Warmington is known to be outspoken.
if I was
Yes.
advising that PR team, there's a lot of changes that they publicly. That PR performance there was not impressive in my view. But that's for another time.
Which one?
I think they need a little. I think they need a little bit more. It's people don't like when I criticize them. It's all right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. It was great talking to you all. Scratchy?
Yes, sir.
Yes, man. We have to keep talking, and
Have to.
the momentum is building, my brother. The momentum is building. The reviews that we have been getting are off the chart. We are breaking a lot of records over here, and
And we should have the involvement of currency, which is a good.
Yes. She have
Well,
an energy.
She have a
Foresight,
energy.
what do you think about the whole Samoa agreement thing? Because I really don't like what they're trying to push on the party, with the
I
Samoa agreement.
don't know much about it. I think it's just another piece of propaganda that the PNP is trying to push.
I mean, I know about it, but I see them try to spread it, and it's not. Oh, what they're saying is not really. It's nothing like that. Oh, they're pushing it. The Samoa agreement
But
is not
they're
really
not
like that.
authoritative to talk about that because trust me, that aspect of it, they
Not
better.
an LGBT agenda the government pushing.
Again, it's propaganda against what reality is. The reality is that they are more on that side than any other. They can't blame the JLP for that because what we are seeing, right, is even more compelling than what we are hearing coming from them. What we are seeing with them is more compelling than what we are hearing from them about that. So they can't use that.
Because I see a couple live with the whole of them talking about the whole Samoa agreement and
But I
this
don't have to
agenda.
repeat that thing, Those things I don't even want them to amplify it, brother. To tell you the truth,
I see them push it, man. I see like persons really don't have an understanding now, so they're trying to make persons
No,
believe
but the party is
yes.
in power, and there's no introduction or any such thing. You understand me? I say? So, the party in power, we can only be judged by what we do. I mean, not what people say we do. And that is what the PNP rely on.
connect the dots.
Propaganda.
Connect the dots. Give us your final take, and let us wrap up.
Well, the night was well spent,
Yes.
and somebody said that we should go out there and market our achievements and so. But a little more than that.
Yes.
Yes.
A little more than that. Our best days are ahead.
Jamaica's best day.
Jamaica's best days are ahead.
Yes.
Under the Jamaica Labour Party. That is something that we should market to the people of Jamaica. A Jamaica Labour Party government, we cannot trust the People's National Party, as we have seen over the decades that they have governed. But
So this is bigger than politics, sir.
yes. So, but the government that led by Andrew Michael Holness is trustworthy. We can trust them because they not only they don't talk, they are more for action and they implement. And so the programs that they have for Jamaica are still being rolled out. Those projects are still being implemented and launched. Some grounds are still being broken, and they must give the Jamaica Labour Party, led by Andrew Holness, a third term to ensure that these projects are completed within budget and on time. Because we are not accustomed to that under the PNP. So these are some of the things that we should try and get into people's mind. So look here, we have done well, but not only that, we will do better in the third term.
Fantastic.
It was a great evening, though.
Scratchy,
Yes, sir.
somebody is suggesting that the point you raise, that the church is likely to see it as an issue and vote along the lines of not supporting it.
No, the church, there were seven seven civil society groups were against it, and 15 was for it, and the government did sign it same way.
Yeah. So is there any room for the party to make this matter clear in terms of what is their position? And is it necessary? Because I am one that, I don't necessarily,
You might open up something that you didn't need to address.
right, I don't necessarily want to start a debate. And I
that,
think that government can legislate people's sexual behavior.
No, but what we understand, what the government point in rebutting what the PNP is coming with is that whatever treaty the government signed is not law.
Mhm.
Our law still
all right.
prohibits against those stuff, so we don't have to worry about what the PNP are coming with.
Sometimes you can
Do
put
you
to
think
rest
that
a
our
matter.
society is sufficiently mature, or the whole matter? Because these things are very difficult to explain, and these things are very touchy.
No, the government stance on it is against it, but the PNP is trying to flip it like the government is
Okay,
for it.
Neighbor, one of the things we have to be, one of the things that we have to understand is some of the time, in order to put a matter to rest, the best way to do is not necessarily to respond directly to the matter, but just to make another argument overpowers that.
Yes.
Right? Sometimes when you get into a debate, right, about the matter, then what you do, you amplify it and you make it becomes now the hot topic for discussion, right? And these are some of the things that we have to understand in marketing, right? You don't respond directly to the issue and get into a debate about that. You might open up another issue that makes that one becomes irrelevant. And
So silence become the golden thing for some issues that are
The silence will make it seem like we have something to hide.
no, we have to control the narrative. No, not necessarily, because if you drown it out by discussing something else, that becomes the hot topic, which is what happened the other day, and a lot of laborers fall for it. Because when we were supposed to be discussing the resignation of Dayton Campbell, what became the topic was they opened up a matter about the house and the social housing, and that it doesn't belong to the beneficiary and all of that.
And Foresight, that
There's
is
someone in the chat saying, I know JLP who didn't vote because they heard that.
No, you see, that is it. No, that is it, Scratchy. You're repeating all of these things that you shouldn't. Yeah, go ahead.
When there's an issue that is a negative for your side, all you need to do is just throw something out there,
Exactly.
And then when you throw it out there, you take the
Attention away from it.
attention away from yourself.
No, but Foresight, when as someone who's marketing my party and my government, and I am talking to someone and saying that, hey, Ray, and they're licking me with this point and saying, your government do this, your government sign this, your government
Let me
sign
just say
that.
something
How
about
do I
that.
remain silent on
Let me
that?
just say something about that with governments. And that is why, you see, Andrew is pushing for what you call self-reliance. Because you see, when you have things like grants, they come with certain conditions. And some of the time, those conditions, you're signing off to one thing, but you also have to take what comes with it. So sometimes when you're signing off to something, the conditions that come with it are probably conditions that might not align with your cultural beliefs.
No, but in this case, Foresight, it's propaganda. The government didn't sign anything that is contradicting our
If
belief
they
or anything.
don't sign anything, right? And this is why I don't want to talk on it, because I don't know. I hear it, otherwise. Some I agree with, some I
No, the reason why I have a full understanding of it, I had the privilege of meeting with persons who were negotiating with the government about it. So I understand it. I work in an NGO.
On a one-on-one basis, when a person like will meet you in the street and talk, then you can debate about it. But I'm saying we have to be careful when we come on a platform to be making these kind of discussions the topic when you have more important things, right, to talk about. Because what the PNP tried to do, is to throw these little things in and make them become the big topic. Then before you know it, you get derailed and railroad from the things that really make the government look good to be talking about things that are more debatable, right? The PNP know that when it comes down to performance, right, and matters of national interest, they cannot, right? They cannot they have no grounds, no legs to stand on. right?
Can you tell me the channel?
And they can't debate those issues because they know that they are not going to win in those debates. So what they do, they try to find other things now, right? And distract you from the real matters, right? That impact people's life, and have you discuss some little side issues that was not even a topic before.
Thank you. Foresight, boy, it's always great talking to you, man. Scratchy, great talking to you too. And Amnesia, you have the final word.
Yeah, man, it was a good discussion.
Yes.
And I like the reasoning of everybody. But what I want to ask is, neighbor, in terms of Damian Young, do you see him taking that seat from Michael Phillips?
All right. So there's a person on the ground over in Northwest that I have been trying to get. I have spent some time in the constituency, if I may tell you the truth, and there are some divisions there, especially Greenville, that is hard to win.
Because I guess I heard that his stronghold, which is Mile Gully.
My golly too, and then
Right.
you have New Green.
No, but the thing is, Damian Young is doing major work in Mile Gully. And the persons in Mile Gully is saying they are not seeing
The
Michael
Labour
Phillips.
Party lost that seat in 1980 when Stafford Horton had it. It hasn't won it back since 1989. It has not won. It has not won. It is the strongest Labour PNP seat in Northwest, in Manchester.
Right, and that's where he is mostly, in Mile Gully. So he's reaching out to those persons, giving them jobs and all these things.
You notice that even if the PNP lost South and Central, it held on to Northwest.
Even when the PNP was weak,
When the PNP was at
even against a much weaker PNP.
With a big national swing against them, and they still managed to hold it.
Yeah. And when it won West in 1980, everybody was losing. The challenge is, and I can tell you that Stafford, I tell you, the Labour Party did not do a good job with that seat between 1980 and 1989. And not a lot of things were done there. And therefore, people can talk, people can say what they want to say. There is some amount of feeling that ground is lost. But if you notice that the MP has been a lot more vocal, I see him up on social media enough these days. So obviously something is happening there. Is it sufficient for...
Yeah, because the young people, they are gravitating to him.
He can win if the young people come out. I think
that is what is going to
Damian Young,
to win that seat.
what really happened is that those seats tend to enjoy a lot of traditional vote, neighbor. So in order, you win those kind of seats 2 ways. You like get the traditional vote to be become dormant, a good portion of it. They don't come out and vote, or you get new voters to vote for the JLP.
I lived there for a
A
while.
new generation of voters.
Yes.
Amisha, I lived there for a while. I know the history of Northwest very, very well. And I know the divisions. And I'm telling you that even when the party was at its weakest, it held on to Northwest. Keep working hard though. I don't think anything is impossible. The Manchester generally needs, I think, something.
I hear that Damian is making serious inroads though.
Yeah, he is. He is. Is it
Yeah,
he
because
ran?
he's working harder than Michael Phillips, the MP.
He ran last time. But then why weren't you able to even capture? And you lost some of your councillors. I mean, don't want to
No,
call
but
him.
the thing is, the 2020 election when Damian Young went in, he went
Yes.
in late. He went in late, and if he went in about 2 weeks before the election or something
But
like that.
Mr. Chin also went in late, and Chin came up victorious.
And he made that vast accomplishment Because him run up on Michael Phillips good. So him can beat him.
Michael won by 1,000, just over 1,000 votes.
I remember Chin went in very
That
late
is a
and Chin
significant,
sent
that is a significant margin.
Dean Peart away morning.
But anyways,
I think part of the focus on this and in going forward too would be to strengthen the leadership advantage again that the JLP has, because that, in addition to a very strong campaign on the ground,
yes,
you know,
if you can capture the hearts of Jamaicans to give them a renewed sense of energy and hope,
right.
you probably could see a 38 to 40 seats.
Yeah, we just have to carefully decide who we use as the face, as the face of our campaign this time around.
Yes. Thank you so much. You hear, guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the
All of
best.
my listeners
Be safe
who
now.
stayed this week, thank you so much. I'm not sure about being on tomorrow, but definitely see you soon. See you soon. Good night. Have a wonderful rest of the night. Bye-bye.
Respect.